Now, Education Africa is a South African non-profit organization that has over 22 years of experience working together with disadvantaged communities to address the issue of inequality in education. They manage projects that address various educational needs, from early childhood development workshops to scholarship funding. One of these ventures is the International Arts and Culture Project. Joining us now is Joan Lithgow, the festival organizer at Education Africa. Good to have you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Leanne, and thanks for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure. I have to tell you, when I was looking at the script earlier, my automatic reaction was to read Joan Lithgow, and I thought,
Correct.
really?
Yes.
That's awesome. We've got him coming into studio. But no, we've got Joan Lithgow, which is just as wonderful.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, let's talk about this program. And I mean, it's been going for 22 years. How do you sustain this program?
Well, Education Africa has got amazing people working for it. The founder, James Erding, has been there at the helm for 22 years.
Wow.
And I've been with them on our arts and culture program now for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. So, okay, for people that are sort of maybe hearing about it for the first time, I mean, what exactly does Education Africa do?
Well, there are lots of different things. In the arts and culture projects, we have a number of different arms that we do. We open up marimba hubs. We get children off the streets playing music. We do fundraising concerts for that sort of thing. We take children on overseas trips. To give them an opportunity to realize that if they put really hard work into marimba playing, for instance, they can be traveling overseas, which is really very exciting. That's where I'm really involved in. We're also involved in something called where we build preschools in under-resourced areas, and then equip those preschools with equipment and train teachers and get these things happening in the different areas.
Well, I mean, you know, the obvious question to ask you, which I think you've already answered, you know, the difference that this has brought to communities, I imagine massive. I mean, if you're talking about taking marimba bands and allowing them to play in international communities and giving them exposure to the world, it must be huge. It must be changing lives.
Absolutely. We've just recently come back from a trip to the UK where we took 10 children from Etwatwa on a trip for 10 days. And it was incredible. The children stayed at a private boarding school in Essex and experienced what life is like in a different environment. And then they performed at the most wonderful Shaka Zulu restaurant in Camden. And it was just mind-blowing, really.
That's fantastic. Once all is said and done, I mean, and they've done all of these things and they've travelled and they've played in these amazing places, what happens then when they grow up and they've got to go into the workforce? You know, how does Education Africa ensure the sustainability of these youngsters?
Well, we look at the children as they're going up through our ranks, and we try and give bursaries to children as they're going up into the high school if they're deserving. And we try and monitor the progress of the children as they go. And as you can see, you know, we work with very young children in the preschool area, and then we work with children in the high school. We also have a wonderful program called the Samun debating competition, which is also an international competition. And that has also just recently happened, where the South African prize winners go to America and compete in America. So
fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful. The communities that you're currently looking at now and working with, which are they? Right.
In the arts and culture communities, I've got 5 different groups of areas that I'm working in. The one is Reiger Park. Then I've got Alexandra Township. We're in Lenasia. With Davidton, we've just opened up a marimba hub in Davidton, and Etwatwa, so it's really very exciting.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, the different programs available, from we say the distribution of bicycles to school children.
Yes.
I mean, that's how diverse it is too, as you're saying, taking them overseas to play marimbas. Who would otherwise have to walk long distances with the bicycles to school? You've also got maths buddy programs helping maths literacy.
Correct.
Talk to us about those.
Yes, well, Maths Buddy is an amazing book that has been devised to help students right from grade 1 upwards with mathematics. And the idea is, you know, many people don't, at the beginning stages of their mathematical training in grade 1 and grade 2, very often children have not had decent training there, and it's at that root point very often that causes the maths to fall apart when they're older. And Maths Buddy takes you right from the very beginning stages of those all the way through and explains all the language and the processes involved right from grade 1. So if you're in grade 8 and you find, gee, you know, I'm struggling, and you go back to the grade 1 work, you can often find, gee, that's what I didn't understand,
that's exactly
and that's where the root of my problem is. And when that root has been sorted out, maths just becomes a lot easier for children.
Oh, that's great.
So it's very special.
Now, there's also the international arts and culture, and that's something we're talking about now. Just tell us more about this. What's it all about?
Well, we have an amazing festival coming up on the 1st and 2nd of August called the International Marimba and Steel Pan Festival. It is the largest of its kind in the world, in fact. It really is. We attract between 16 and 1,800 performers from all over the world. This year, due to the problems that we've had with xenophobia, we've had a knock from a lot of our international people coming in, but we have a band from Nigeria, we've got Lesotho, Swaziland, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and then all over South Africa. And these are performers young and old, starting from as young as 8 and 9, all the way to adults who are performing in different competitions. And at the festival we have the main event is a series of competitions in different age groups and different categories. And then in the fringe events we have a whole lot of workshops where people come and learn to play djembe drums, play marimbas, steel pans. We have Simbongile Khumalo, who's going to be one of our adjudicators, and she's going to be doing some master classes. It is absolutely exciting.
That sounds unbelievable. So if people want to hear or get more details about it, where do they go? Is there a website?
Yes, there is.
Can people enter themselves?
Yes, they can. If there's a marimba band that still wants to enter, we can look at that. We've almost closed, but we've just had some people pull out, so we've got a space or two, so there is some space. And then people can come to the gate at St. Benedict's College in Bedfordview on the 1st and 2nd of August. Starts early, 8 o'clock in the morning until late in the evening.
Lovely.
And people can either come for the day with their family, or they can book for a whole weekend and then attend all the workshops that are there. And a really exciting learning kind of program as well as an entertaining program.
Wonderful. Just again, that website.
Okay, it's www.internationalmarimbafestival.
International Marimba
Festival.org.
Okay, International Marimba Festival.org.
Correct.
Taking place 1st and 2nd of August, St. Benedict's in Bedfordview. There is a space or two available, so if you want to quickly get onto that website and enter into this wonderful festival. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Absolute pleasure for that wonderful work that you're doing. Joan Lithgow is the festival organizer and talking to us about Education Africa. Basically the motto, making real change happen, poverty alleviation through education. How true that is. Thank you so much for being with us.